Hey everyone, John Reardon here for Nintendo World Report TV. Today we'll be taking a look at the Abxylute N6. It's a recently released controller specifically designed for the Switch 2 for playing in handheld mode. You may remember a while back I took a look at another of Abxylute's grips, the S8. The N6 obviously has a different design perspective, as it is specifically built for Switch 2, where the S8 was built to work with both the Switch 1 and Switch 2, along with smartphones. As such, a lot of my issues with the S8 were in its sometimes confusing Switch-specific implementation with mislabeled buttons when playing on a Switch 1 or Switch 2. The N6 fixes all of that, so while it lacks the versatility of that device, it is a much more user-friendly experience for Switch 2 specifically. Taking a quick look at the unit itself, you get two Hall Effect joysticks, which of course are an improvement over any official first-party offerings for Switch 2. These sticks are also slightly taller than the sticks on a Joy-Con, giving them a wider range of movement and thus more precision. Beyond that, we get a proper D-pad, our expected face buttons, properly labeled in the Nintendo configuration, digital triggers, bumpers, and rear GL and GR buttons. It is worth noting that since the N6 registers as a proper Switch 2 Pro controller rather than Switch 1, you also get access to the chat button, along with UI integrated settings for GL and GR. What it can't do that a first-party Switch 2 Pro controller can is wake your system up from sleep mode. That being said, if you're using it, the Switch itself is presumably in it. But I assume this limitation comes down to the fact that the N6 is powered by the Switch 2 itself. The Switch 2 is inserted from the top, where it plugs into the USB-C connector at the bottom of the N6. The top USB-C port is then left open for charging or any other accessories. Since the controller is being powered by the system and doesn't have its own battery, it may have a slight effect on battery life, but it wasn't enough of one for me to notice anything in my testing. But it also means there's no messing around with Bluetooth connections. As soon as you turn on the Switch 2, it immediately recognizes the N6 and it kicks into action. I do have a couple mild complaints about how the Switch 2 itself fits into the N6. The system sticks out a little awkwardly from the top of the device, which functionally doesn't matter, but it does look a little silly. Especially given that the N6 only works with the Switch 2, it would have been nice to see it a bit more specifically shaped for it. My other issue comes with removing the system from the grip. The good news is that it fits very tightly, so it won't go falling out. Unfortunately, that also means it takes a lot of force to remove it. You'll be pulling it out in such a way that you'll likely leave a big ol' thumbprint on the screen. A little eject button, similar to what is on the Joy-Cons to simply pop the system out of the grip, is a sorely missed bit of extra polish. The controller itself, however, performs excellently, and I haven't had any functional issues with it when it comes to playing games. Without adding too much mass to the system, it manages to significantly improve the ergonomics of the Switch 2. What results is a shape not dissimilar to the Steam Deck or other handheld PCs of a similar size, though the Switch 2 remains significantly lighter in comparison. While there are some small quality of life and design improvements that could nicely polish up the N6, the controller as is works great and is an improvement over the more generic Bluetooth-based solution of the S8. If you're looking to make your Switch 2 a bit more comfortable and improve the performance of the analog sticks in particular in the process, the N6 is a great option. But that's all for me. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and checking out NintendoWorldReport.com for a whole lot more. If you have any questions for me specifically, you can feel free to reach out on your social media platform of choice, or come hang out with us and talk about anything else Nintendo related in our Discord channel using the link in the description. My name's John Reardon, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.